Okay, cool. So yeah, as David mentioned, I'm going to actually explain how we are revamping the communication development at Reckitt. And I'm going to show like a framework how we did for the 7 Symptoms campaign. That's the latest like campaign, global campaign for this for Gaviscon brand. That is the brand that I work. But before I start, actually, sorry, there's just one disclaimer that all the content of this presentation actually can find in the investor section. So yeah, there is no confidential information here. So before I start, actually, I want to really bring the context, right? Set the scene why actually I believe this subject is super important for us. There is attention overload. So as you can see, there's so much information going around, like now with like AI, and then in terms of for you to be able to stand out versus the competitors is super challenging right now. And I'm going to show some facts why this has happened. So the first actually fact, because 91% of the people that they have the phone as a second screen while watch TV. And then we call this a second screen, but we also have the third screen, which is tablets and an iPad, which is around like 60% of people. So it's super challenging for you to really grab attention for consumers. And this is like a war, right, for attention, retention, for them to understand what you deliver as a message. So when you're looking for the proportion of the attention for each of these channels, as you can see, it's an average of like 22% in traditional TV, YouTube pre-rolls, and social media. So it's super challenging for you to really be able to land your message nowadays. And also, when you talk about the consumer journey or patient journey or customer journey, there is like several touch points now. That is like also a very interesting study that 10 years ago, you used to have like some studies that we used to have around 50 touch points for the brand, and nowadays actually is double, because there is like experts, influencers, events, HCPs, media, social network. There are so many factors affecting the consumer journey for your business. Which means that today the media landscape is diverse, saturated, and also there is also the personalization that plays a big role. So that's why, in terms of our business challenge, how we can really grow with our brands, and because we need to be relevant for them, in the right message, in the right channel, and to be able to really reach our light buyers. I don't know if you have like read the book, How Brands Grow. If you haven't, I strongly recommend for you to read, which actually talks about the concept that you don't have loyal consumers. Your consumer is always going to change based on promotion or any like communication influence that they have during his buying behavior journey. So that's the context, okay? And that's why I believe like this topic is important. But just to summarize about the agenda of what I'm going to try to cover today, I'm going to explain super brief about me and Reckitt. I think there are so many people that they don't know what Reckitt means. Also, I'm going to talk about this communication development framework model, which we have developed for that 7 Symptoms campaign for Gaviscon. Then I'm going to show which are the research roadmap that we have developed to uncover this insight for this campaign. And also, I'm going to talk about media, so how we can target the right audience, and how this actually is turning the insights into business results. So, and then the business value outcome that I expect for you to take from this presentation is to really understand how you can leverage consumer, customer, patient insights, and media behavior to inform your campaign, your marketing campaign, and because you need to inform your customer with the right message at the right time, at the right stage of their journey. So just to talk super brief about me, as you can see about my accent, so I'm half Brazilian, half Italian. I actually have like a degree in Brazil, but I also have a master's at Pebblestone College in Boston. And in terms of my career, I started my career at JJ, 2008. Then I moved to Unilever, where I worked for 6 years. Then I moved to Bayersdorf, where actually I joined the German companies. and I love to work with German people. So in 2016, then I moved to BSF, and now since like 2019, I work at Reckitt as the global head of category insights and analytics. I'm not going to show like this because I'm just like conscious of the time. There is a video that actually explains what Reckitt stands for. So as you saw, like people are the center of this video. That's what actually we believe as a concept proposition of the company. So we put the consumer at the heart of all decisions that we do. So that's why it's super important for us to always think about the consumer in everything that we do. Just to explain about this, now we're going to enter in the topic. So explain how we're developing this communication development framework. So essentially, we have like some 5 key drivers to develop this framework. Everything starts about your comms objective and your business objective, your campaign. So we need to have like this super clear, and also you need to inspire with like creative briefing as well for your with your advertising agency. Then the second one is about how we can really find insight hook, like, for example, very like deep insight, which is going to actually be a part to you for your competitors. So like the hook that we call, like if you find a very compelling insight. Then you need to analyze your brand drivers, your competitor drivers. So how you can really focus on what consumers choose your brand, and how you can find also unmet needs that you could elevate in the campaign. Another part is about the media, so how you can target the right audience, and last, your media performance planning. So I'm going to also show some AI solutions that we have used in this campaign. So everything starts with the communication brief. I'm not going to detail here, but I think the first thing is to really understand your job to be done that you want to do with your consumer. So for example, for Gaviscon, for this global campaign, we really want to expand the brand penetration in terms of business objective, and because actually we found like a consumer insight which could help us in that journey. So the job to be done here is what about to educate consumers that we have other type of symptoms that you can use Gaviscon to treat, not only heartburn injection, but other 5 symptoms. So that was the job to be done for the campaign. And then you have like the opportunity, I mean, all the KPIs that you have in a comms development brief. Then the second factor is about human and cultural insights research. So we have actually put in place a research plan, which we actually cover everything. So we start with the Reckitt agent teams. We understood the cultural and the context of what like consumers think about when they have digest health issues. Then we also have a quantitative research, a quality research, and we also link this with the technical insights. So when we found like this insight about the associated symptoms that you can have with heartburn injection, we also checked with the medical science and medical marketing team and R&D to be able, okay, if there is associated symptoms, like Gaviscon can really like treat that symptom. So we also have like this technical assessment and claim assessment as well. And another factor that we also analyze is about the brand and competitors drivers analysis. So this is like a Gaviscon that's not part of Reckitt, but what we actually did is to really understand what are the main benefits that our competitors, for example, this is like only an example, but what are the competitors are communicating, and then really want to find like a sweet spot in terms of communication to stand out versus the competitors. Another factor is you need to create like an impactful position. And then that is like the three factors that we always look. And then you need to actually find that sweet spot. So is like that benefit or that message is going to differentiate you versus the competition? Can we deliver on the promise that we have behind of this communication? Or are there new value to the market or for the consumers? So that's the impactful position framework that you need to apply if you really want to stand out in your comms. Another point that I said in terms of media, we use like a framework that we call hyper-targeting. So as you know, and as I shared in the beginning of the presentation, for you to be able to stand out versus the many messages that you have nowadays, so we need to understand, you need to have like a multi-layered messages across different channels. So that's why it's super important for you to have this data-driven marketing, which can help you to understand your segmentation or your personas of your consumers and tailor the message via the channels, via each of your type of consumers that you have in your business. And last but not least, it's about media performance and planning. So as I said and linked with the briefing in the beginning, you need to define clear objectives of your campaign. You need to collect, organize the data. You need to build this hyper-targeting, which was the previous slide, so how you can use your segmentation of your consumers and your customers to really understand what drives each of them. You need to really use the hyper-target framework, think about the consumer funnel and how we can move from know, think, do, enjoy. And then we also need to have like some tracking of your media performance to collect insights and then to improve your campaign during your global campaign. So this actually can bring you media excellence and make sure that you're adapting the global campaign based on the learnings that you're having globally. So that's where the 5 steps framework, but I also have investing a lot in research. And the reason why we did that is because we really want to understand if with that like insight actually we could deliver with our product. So and then it's a combination of science and human behavior. And the research plan, we actually start using one research that we call consumer-associated symptoms language, which is help identify the articulation of the symptoms. So essentially here we're trying to understand, okay, when you think about digestive health, what the people actually are looking for. And then we discovered that like fast relief is something that's super important for us, and also longer lasting. So this kind of like understanding, these needs and drivers, it's super important for you to incorporate in your campaign. Also another study was the habits and attitudes, which actually explored a more category landscape overview. So understanding like the perceptions of the brands, what actually the people think about your competitors, and how you can actually position your brand to stand out versus your competition with this study. We also, I don't know if we have some people from pharma as well, we also conduct a patient pathway to understand when consumers are going to treat heartburn indigestion, what's the patient pathway in terms of HCP recommendation, pharmacist like recommendation, to really understand the patient journey. Then another one was to, after we mapped like these 3 main studies, we discovered like that insight about the 7 symptoms. And then we said, okay, let's test like these claims with consumers to see if it's like which claim they like the most to use in their campaign. And then I think it was like previously almost the last study. So one of the things that we also discovered, it's super important for you to create like an emotional connection with consumer. So and then we use like this global qualitative insights to really understand what drives the connection with the brand. And last but not least, we also use the pre-test that's for you to test your campaign before go on air, to be able to, to understand if there is any optimization in the comms. All of this is underpinned by actually by a mentality that you need to have a human articulation at its heart. And here is where it comes like the first AI solution. So when you think about digest health in the upper GI, which is more your symptoms up here, we all think about, like if you see about our competitors, they always talk about heartburn ingestion, and that's it. With this attribute coordination and predictive behavior analysis with AI, we actually discovered that, as you can see here, I don't know if you can see the remote, so you also see like some symptoms associated with heartburn ingestion. And I said, oh, wow, why we don't like communicating this? Because like consumers are not only talking about heartburn ingestion, they also talk about like chest burning, stomach burning, like there are other symptoms associated. So that was the killer insight for the campaign, and then no one was communicating back in days this insight. Then we also thought, okay, now that you have the campaign idea, so how we can make sure that we have the right message with the right channel. So we have applied this hyper-target approach, which we actually understand the segmentation of our consumers and really try to have the right message in the right channel. And this will create like the media planning campaign, which you can have, for example, like social hubs, TV, like even communication with healthcare professionals as well. And we apply all this methodology to be able to really understand how we can deliver the message through the funnel. And there is a criteria for this audience building. So it's all about how we can have organic like media buyers, but also how we can have the viable like media behavior, which you can understand from the consumer journey. What are the definition of awareness, conversion, and loyalty? So through the consumer funnel. So we apply this audience building to make sure that we have the right message. And also another AI solution that we use, I don't know if you know about Reoptimizer. So essentially here we can apply your media planning, and then you can improve when you have the campaign. So you can have the ROI of each of the investment that you have in your media plan. And we also have applied like an internal AI solution, which will translate the communication across the globe. And then we had like 30% of less costly in terms of localization, translation of the campaign. So after we encapsulate everything that we did, how we apply this in the campaign. So that's the campaign. I hope you like it. I don't know if that is missed. Sorry.
We all experience heartburn and indigestion in different ways. However any of these 7 symptoms affect you, Gaviscon Double Action forms a barrier for long-lasting relief. For any of these 7 symptoms, think Gaviscon.
So that's the campaign that we roll out globally. So we have already now in all markets where we sell Gaviscon. And in terms of like bringing results for Reckitt, so that's actually the best-in-class campaign that we have in the self-care business, in the health business. So we have the best link test results so far, like compared to all the other ads tests before. We also have like a double-digit million growth for the brand. We actually are now 4 times bigger than the second brand globally. We also drive category like development, which is super important because if you are at like the first global brand, you need to develop the category and also bring education for the category. And also in terms of growth, double action, that's our range within Gaviscon, we grew like 46%, which is it's a very, very good like growth. And also in terms of equity brand, we are leading equity brand value across the board. And we also have the best ROI in UK and Benelux region. And in terms of AI, so if you search Reckitt in Google, you can see all the cases that we have generate. So also help us to improve the brands, the corporate brands. And then we also present in Ken about like all the AI solutions that we have. And I mean, it's help us with the brand, but also with the corporate brand image in terms of equity. So the key takeaways of this presentation is, first, you really need to, like, if you think about when you're developing your communication campaign, and this can be not only applied, for example, for a CPG company or a pharmaceutical company, can also be applied for your business, for example. So we need to think about your communication objective and how you can define your job to be done. Like, for example, I want to, I don't know, have like more clients from the pharmaceutical side. So you need to be super clear in what your campaign wants to drive in terms of change in behavior. And also you need to have like a sparring brief to guide impactful execution if you work with an agency, advertise agency. The second one is about effective communication should be rooted like in a genuine human expression. So about this like hooking side. So it's about how you can really find like a point of difference in terms of insight for your client or consumer. The third one is about how you can optimize your media performance. So target the right audience, which can maximize your ROI. And last is about how you can deliver what your client or consumer expect for your brand or expect for your business segment. And then you need to also focus on what's the point of difference that you can deliver versus your competitors. That's the 4 key takeaways. So I hope you enjoy. That's all it is.